This is Drew the View back with you on WWLX. I got a very special, sweet guest in the studio right now, Miss Sandi Richardson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So, Sandi, you're a Southern gospel singer.
Yes.
And you go to a really small church in
Purcell.
In Purcell. What's the name of it?
New Hope Baptist Church.
New Hope Baptist Church. And how many members do you guys have?
About 30.
About 30. And you're going to sing a song for us today?
Sure, be glad to.
Okay. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
This is Drew the View on WWLX. Thank you so much for joining us today, wherever you guys are at. In the studio today, man, we're very fortunate to have Stephen Paul Judd. If you don't know him, he's a critically acclaimed director, painter. He's written a book currently with Thomas Yopal called The Last Powwow. It'll be out very soon. He's a great friend of mine, and he's here to play Finish This Sentence. Oh. Are you ready to play, Steve?
Yes. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah. Question 1.
Oh, my goodness.
80 degrees when I...
Tell that trick, please raise up off these NUTs, or you get none of these haddies.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. When I see a toothless girl at the club, I usually...
When I see a toothless girl at the club, I was in Seattle about a month ago, and there's a little bodega. I don't know if that's what they call them in Seattle, but there's a little shop right next to the
convenience store.
Little convenience store, next to the place. So I was going over there, and this little, like at nighttime, like the schizophrenics or homeless people would kind of come out.
Right.
And this lady come up to me, and she said, "Hey, you want to buy this bottle of wine for $2?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm just trying to get in the store." And she said, "Would you like a velvet massage?" And I said, "What is a velvet massage?" And she said, "It's a blowjob without no teeth." So that reminded me. That reminds me of the toothless girl.
So how much did the velvet massage cost?
I asked if she had change for $5.
Gonna clap your hands, gonna stomp your feet, gonna get right up, gonna move your meat. He's my buddy, Drew the View.
Hey everybody, this is Drew the View. How do you do? Today we got SPJ, Mr. Stephen Paul Judd in the studio with us playing Finish This Sentence. Here's a crazy story about my friend Patrick Stewart.
One time, Patrick Stewart was in the Bill's, Mr. Bill's. I don't know if that store's still around. It's a bar.
It's not. It closed.
Okay, so he was at Mr. Bill's, and this guy was eyeballing him. So I went over there and asked the guy why he was staring at him. And I guess the guy took umbrage to that. So he and Pat got outside, and the guy took a swing at Pat. And the guy was so drunk, he missed him and just fell on the ground. So Pat jumped on him and pulled one arm behind his back. I think Pat says he got him in a chicken wing, but didn't know what to do with his other hand. So he said, "I fish hooked him." And I was like, "What?" He said, "I chicken wing and fish hooked him." So he put his hand in the guy's mouth and pulled it back sideways.
Who's the best storyteller in your family?
The best storyteller in my family? Man, you know, it's a pretty close race, but if I had to be honest, probably say me.
Thanks a lot, Mom. You recently got back from Paris, screening one of your films there with Wes Studi. Tell me your favorite thing about Paris.
Favorite thing about Paris, probably maybe like the architecture. It just looks so different. It's so funny because I went to this. They took us to this big church. It looked like Lord of the Rings, and they were like, "This church was built in 7." And I was like, "What?" Like I don't even know where 7 is on the timeline.
Yeah.
Because in America, it's like
if something's 100 years old, you're like, "Oh man, look at this."
Oh
This is
yeah,
100
it's
years
always
old.
like, "Hey, this restaurant, it used to be a factory back in 1930s. We renovated it."
Yeah. I know you're a big fan of music. What song would you like to perform the most?
Oh man, maybe Country Boy Can't Survive.
You have any shout outs?
No shout outs.
You ain't got any shout outs?
No shout outs, man.
Listen, man.
Mean
Paulie,
guy.
Steve, this is mom on the radio talking about I'm the best storyteller. You got to give a shout out to your mom at least. What's up, Miss Judd?
Hello, Miss Judd.
Hello, Miss Judd.
She's there laughing as she's listening right now. Both these guys know my mom. They know she likes to laugh.
Are you ready to freestyle with the crew?
What? Oh, I don't know if I'm prepared for that, man.
I think you'll be all right. This is Drew the View on WWLX.
This is our favorite part of the show. It's called Freestyle, so here we go. I can rap fast and you can rap slow. Steve, grab the mic and let it flow.
I walk like a pimp. I talk like I'm a freestyle with Drew the View. They call me SPJ. Out in Cali like Dr. Dre. Hatchback to a Maybach. You can save that dime for your mind. Go ahead and blaze that.
This is me and Paul's favorite part of the show. I'ma freestyle, flow, then grab a beer, then smoke. Then I'ma go outside. It's so hot, man, you can't hide. I'ma pass the mic to Paul, let him go off on all y'all.
My boy Stevie P is up in this piece, making ratings rise like buttermilk geese. Talking about his travels from west to east, creating dope art like a badass beast.
This is Drew the View on WWLX. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. And thank you so much to Steve and Paul Judd for stopping by. You're a big inspiration to me, and I appreciate your time. The next guest we have currently in the studio is a Native American teacher. He's an artist, an activist, a writer, a professor, protester, a father, husband, and listener to all. My teacher and great friend, Mr. Rockey Robbins. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, thank you.
Rockey, you do a lot of things, and you inspire me in a lot of ways. Tell me what you're working on right now, writing-wise, I guess.
I'm every single day for the last 2 months. I've been writing a book that I don't think has been written yet. It's about the internal conflicts that a Native American goes through every day, but it's from a point of view that makes it kind of unique because it's from the point of view of genocide. So I'm talking from the grave.
Tell us about diversity and why that's important for you to teach.
Well, the really nice people often think that we can all have some kind of unitary experience, that we're all just the same and that we should just get along. But I think that's a cheap way to get at any kind of unitary experience. You have to know each person's unique gifts and differences and cultural and tribal uniquenesses before you can have any coming together. Mm-hmm. And in our society where there's such a domination from one particular racial group, that's not an easy thing to do. For 500 years, blacks and Native Americans haven't been recognized as human. And so it's really important to begin by acknowledging the unique differences before you can really join together, or else it turns into some kind of hippy-dippy, let's all love each other thing.
One of the things that we share in common, and I love about you so much, is your knowledge and your taste for music. Tell me, what are the names of the best and worst songs?
Okay, let me start with the worst.
Okay,
right?
okay, for sure.
I know that this is really bad to say in Oklahoma because he's one of the greatest writers in Oklahoma history. But
You gonna say Toby Keith?
No,
okay.
No.
He's got a song. If you guys haven't heard it, maybe up for the worst song. It's called "Stars and Stripes" or something like that.
I would write that one as the worst. I would, but this one has always killed me. MacArthur Park.
MacArthur Park.
Someone left the cake out in the rain. Oh my God, that whole song! I that metaphor kills me because, he's breaking up with this woman and he's comparing it to somebody taking his cake and putting it out in the rain.
He likes cake, man.
He loves it, man. Cake. Like, what's the best thing I can have besides this woman? Some cake.
That's her.
I can just imagine it melting out there. The icing running off, and wow, what a metaphor. It's one I never forgot, but one that has always irritated me. I thought, damn, what a metaphor that is.
Hey, man, I'll let everybody know out there, if you come to my birthday party and you put my cake out in the rain, like, we are no longer friends. There's no chance for salvation of that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, if it's a wedding party, it would be really bad.
It would be awful for a birthday party. A little kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
Rocky, man, I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming on today and for all the knowledge you share with us today and otherwise, man.
Oh, you're welcome. What dough? I appreciate it.
Oh, cool, man. Appreciate you back, brother. This is Drew the View on WWLX.
You've been listening to Drew the View in the Morning on 109.9 WWLX FM. All interviews are copyrighted and cannot be redistributed or re-recorded in part or whole without written consent. Views of today's guests don't necessarily reflect the views of this station.